Hey people, this video today is for people who eat gluten-free, and today we're talking about pizza. Thanks for watching StubbornMom.com. Before we go ahead, make sure to smash that subscribe button, subscribe to me, hit that notification bell, and you'll know when more of my videos are coming out. So today I want to talk about pizza. I have been gluten-free for I think it's been like 4 or 5 years. And in that time, the thing, of course, that I miss most is pizza. There's nothing more American, fat and lazy than sitting down to a movie and having a big, greasy, cheesy pizza. I know it's what I want to do every day. I love pizza. And so there have been a lot of pizzas that I've had over the years that are gluten-free. Luckily right now, for people that need to and have to eat gluten-free, aside from the people that, you know, just want to try it for health reasons, and that's fine too, because of that awareness and the trend, a lot of pizza chains have been putting out gluten-free pizzas. So for today's video, we're just going to be covering chains. There are definitely a lot of local eateries and maybe obscure places where you could find a really delicious gluten-free pizza. For me, my favorite gluten-free pizza is at the Great Wolf Lodge. I'm in Ohio. We have a Great Wolf Lodge here, and they have a little pizzeria in the basement, and I really like their gluten-free pizza. But that's not something that I'm going to recommend for my top 5 gluten-free pizzas because I don't even know the name of it, and it's not really popular. It's not something most people are going to come across. So I'm going to go ahead and do a top 5 countdown starting with number 1 until we get to my number 1 recommended gluten-free pizza. Okay, number 5. So for number 5, I want to discuss Marco's gluten-free pizza. So Marco's is a great pizza place. I mean, their pizza in general is greasy, but still good. Their toppings are pretty great. I have had their gluten-free pizza a few times, and I recommend it because it's an option, but the reason I have it at 5 is because of how I feel after I eat it. It tastes fine. Almost every gluten-free pizza out there you're gonna eat, the experience isn't the same. My memory of the taste, I cannot super describe to you because my main takeaway was that after I had it, I felt pretty tired. Now, by tired, I don't mean that I felt totally glutened. That would be a no-no, I'm not coming back. But I feel tired enough that I don't wanna go eating it again. So I don't know if it's that the way they prepare it just is too much of a contamination issue, or that their crust just isn't totally gluten-free. I'm not exactly sure, but it's just not somewhere that I wanna eat again. But if you're with a big group of people and they are getting Marco's, this is usually the situation for me. They're like, oh, and I got you a gluten-free one. You know, you can have a piece, maybe have that with a salad, and you should be okay. But for me, it's not something that I'm gonna choose to order on a Friday night. All right, for number 4, Papa John's. Papa John's has a pretty good gluten-free pizza. We recently rediscovered Papa John's as a family, and my kids really love it. They want to get Papa John's all the time. It's their most favorite. The thing that Papa John's advertises is they have really good ingredients, and I would say that this is true. However, the reason that I put their pizza at number 4 is because of my issues with the crust. At first, I thought it was really great to have Papa John's again because it had probably been like 10 years since I had had Papa John's pizza because of going gluten-free and trying new pizzas, you know, just a little bit at a time to see how I would react, and just because I just hadn't had it in a long time prior to going gluten-free. So I was really glad to have it. But as I went on, what happened to the crust was it got soggy. Now, I didn't get anything crazy. I didn't get too many toppings. I do always, I want to note this, always get double or extra. So extra is like, so you got cheese, and then you got extra cheese, and then you get double cheese, right? Because for most gluten-free pizzas, it's just like, oh, this is terrible, right? So at least get some extra cheese. So that's what I tend to do because these gluten-free crusts are like thinner, and I want to enjoy this experience as much as I can. I would just get a little extra cheese, and then I think I had pepperonis and maybe olives. That's it. Well, as I would be eating it, as it sat there more and more, the sauce and the ingredients kind of soaked into the crust, and it kind of was soggy. I've had it a couple times, and I would keep experiencing that part of my pizza crust would get soggy, and then it was just like eating a wet napkin, and I didn't enjoy that. I did like that I could have gluten-free with Papa John's, so if we get that as a family, I will eat the pizza, but that's why I have it at number 4. For number 3, I have Snappy Tomatoes. Snappy Tomato, I'm pretty sure, is a chain that you should have in your area, and they tend to be more franchise owned. We had that in our area for like 2 years, and then they moved out, so I'm kind of bummed out because I'm really digging their gluten-free pizza. That's why I have them at number 3. I tended to order, with extra cheese of course, a veggie pizza of theirs, and it was really good. The thing I liked about their crust was it seemed softer than most gluten-free pizzas out there. Usually with a crust that's gluten-free, it's going to be kind of either gummy and chewy or totally crispy, and it's like having pizza on cardboard. But with Snappy Tomato, I felt like it was on like bread or pita bread or something. And when you've been gluten-free or celiac for a long time, you really miss that sensation and that experience. It was a taste explosion. So I really recommend Snappy Tomato. Okay, for number 2, my number 2 choice for gluten-free pizza is Donato. Donato's. I love Donato's. Now, Donato's is its own thing. It's usually like a higher quality, so it is a little more expensive, probably the most expensive gluten-free pizza that you can get out there. Their ingredients there are very unique and really good. And so the reason I put Donato's at number 2 is for the taste experience. Now the crust itself, like I said, usually ranges, unfortunately, in between a chewy cardboard. It's like really hard to eat, but I'm still getting the same Donato's ingredients, that sauce and that cheese and those pepperonis, and you have it cut into those little squares and rectangles. And so for me, the experience to just have that again is so delicious that even though the crust isn't that great, I put Donato's at number 2. Here's what you've all been waiting for, the number 1 pick. My number 1 in my top 5 gluten-free pizzas for chain pizza restaurants is Domino's. I really like it a lot. Now, here are all the reasons that Domino's is my favorite gluten-free pizza. For one, they have the best value. The price is pretty good. I can usually get it for $10. I really enjoy their online ordering process. They make it pretty easy, and they are always consistently now having a gluten-free pizza coupon. So that brings it down considerably. I am going to be upping the toppings, and so that coupon really helps. I always get a double cheese, which is a great option that Domino's has, and so that really helps with the flavor and the experience as well. When it comes to the crust, I would have to say that it isn't super consistent. Sometimes it's pretty darn awesome. Like I said, for all of these pizzas, it's not, with the exception of Snappy Tomato, it's not really about enjoying the crust. It is about enjoying the toppings without that gluten-free crust like tainting the toppings and getting in the way. For Domino's, the crust is usually just like in the background. Sometimes it's a little overcooked and a little crispy, and sometimes it's just fine. So that's why I really like it. It's a good value, it tastes good, it's super familiar, and it's not a terrible experience. So those are my top 5 gluten-free pizzas. Now, disclaimer, if you are celiacs or recently discovered that you need to eliminate gluten from your diet, please tread lightly. Be careful when trying new foods, as you probably already know, and when ordering pizza. These places totally have big disclaimers and notices. When you get the pizza, it'll say on the box or something taped to the box that, hey, we did our best here, but there could be cross-contamination. And that is totally true. So remember, I'm not your doctor, I'm just a YouTube girl, okay? So I would not say that for people with severe reactions that they should really eat any of these places. Like, I don't even go and eat anything at like Subway or Panera. It's just a choice that I'm like, no, not gonna do that. But those are my top 5. I am stubborn about a lot of things, especially eating gluten-free. Being gluten-free is hard, and missing pizza is super hardcore. Life can be hard when you're eating gluten-free, but don't let it harden you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching StubbornMom.com, where I am stubborn about a lot of things, especially being a gluten-free foodie.